Great morning, you guys. Great morning. Come on in. Hey, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. It's early, but baby, let me tell you something. You're going to want to get in here for this. You are going to want to get in here for this. God is releasing a word that is a word of liberation and action. Baby, when I tell you, he's doing his thing. My God. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Baby, this word today, this is for somebody. This is for somebody. It's going to help you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Good morning, Lakedra. Hey, beautiful girl. You know you fine, girl. Girl, you so fine. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I get everything out. Okay. Listen, y'all. Listen. This morning I woke up and God really began to minister to me about counting ourselves out, right? So, so often in life, especially in business, when you are an entrepreneur, you find yourself going through so many challenges. Thank you, boo. Trying to maintain this youth, honey, okay? You find yourself going through so many things. Hold on, y'all. Let me share. I told y'all to share. Let me share. I need to do some more sharing. But you find yourself going through so many things, and so many things that you can begin to doubt your very self. My God, y'all. You can begin to doubt yourself. Hold on, y'all. Let me get that. Listen, I'm telling you. So when you begin to doubt yourself, you begin to move differently. When you begin to doubt yourself, you begin to question whether or not you can. When you begin to doubt yourself, you begin to move in ways that, just don't move you forward. Like you're not going forward. You're just kind of stuck because the truth of the matter is you've allowed fear to set in. Baby, let me tell y'all that this is not the season for that. This is not the season for that. This is not the season for you to sit back on your laurels. This is not the season for you to wait for someone else to value you. This is not the season for you to find yourself in a place where you're questioning your ability and your value. Baby, can I pause you right there? Listen, the Lord woke me up this morning and said very clearly, how will they come if you don't even put it out there? How will they know if you don't put it out there? How will they see if you don't show it? How are you expecting people to? It's just like, and it's so funny because he used an analogy that I use with people. People who are single, who say they want to get married. They don't go nowhere. You don't go nowhere. Nowhere. You go nowhere. You go to work. You go to church. You go home. Hey, Catherine, how are you, gorgeous? You go to work. You go to church. You go home. Or you go to work and you go home. Or you go to church and you go home. Either way, you're not encountering people. How is it that you expect this person to just show up? You think that it's going to be the UPS delivery man? What do you think it's going to be, right? So unless you are out doing things that you enjoy and that you value, you will not be in a position to really be seen. Well, the beauty is that now in the age of the internet, You know, people can see you online now, but that comes with its own set of challenges, right? Listen, God has given you the gifts, talent, skills, knowledge, understanding, all of that he's given you. He's given you the ability to obtain wealth. He's given you purpose and dominion. And the question is, when will you show up for you? I'm amazed at how we are quick to show up for other people. We are quick to promote other people. But when it comes to us, not so much, not so much. When it comes to us, we're more hesitant. When it comes to us, we're less likely. When it comes to us, then we find ourselves in a place where we're just like, oh, well, you know, what is that about? Because when we promote other people, then we don't feel the pressure. The pressure's not on us. It's not personal. So if they do or if they don't, it's not personal. It's not personal. Someone told me, right, Lakedra? Someone told me, they said, Dr. V, you promote everything and everyone else. Check this out now. I want you to listen to the question. Why don't you promote your school? I felt like someone had hit me in the gut, but I've had multiple people say the very same thing to me. The vision of the school is amazing. What you're doing with those young people is amazing. You know, I love what I see. Why? Listen. Why don't you promote your school? You know, that's a good question, right? So all this week, y'all, this is so crazy. Y'all are going to be like, no, not you, Dr. V. All this week, it's been like distraction after distraction, but all this week I've been struggling with posting what's happening with the school. Now listen, y'all. Hey, Bonita. Some amazing things have been happening with the school. We were just featured on Bay News 9. We did a CPR class. Our students are CPR certified. Yes, 6th through 12th grade. Well, I actually have 8th, 11th, and 12th graders right now. But CPR certified. They got CPR certified at school, right? They're working on their businesses. They're getting ready to launch their businesses. I'm telling y'all, get ready, because those businesses are launching before Christmas so that you guys can, you know, purchase their goods and services. Yes. They've got music done. Listen, I'm telling you, all of these amazing things that happen at this school, all of these incredible things. We've got students who are in Louisiana. So we have students that are not just local in the state of Florida, but your kids can be a part of the way, you know, regardless of where they are in the US, right? Working on that international piece. I feel like the international piece is coming soon. Okay. So all of this is true. But I've been hesitant to promote. Not because the product isn't good, not because the system isn't good, not because the school isn't good, but because I've experienced some what people would call failures and I would call lessons. Now let me tell you, this is the interesting thing. When I tell you these kids are not normal and they're not average, they are not normal and they are not average. They are some incredible, amazing young people who are brilliant. Not only are they brilliant, but they are wise. They are engaging. They're deep thinkers. They ask tough questions. It's incredible to me to watch them move, to watch them mentor one another and support one another and love one another. They are warriors. They truly are. Hey, Artesia, how you doing, beautiful? Yes, they are extraordinary. Now, let me tell you what makes them extraordinary. It's not because they're the smartest kids in the world. It's not because they're the loudest kids in the world. It's none of that. Listen, this is what makes them extraordinary. When I tell you well-rounded, they're well-rounded. They are truly entrepreneurs. So it's an environment that sparks that. In fact, one of the things that we just did is we did an assignment dealing with childhood trauma. Now, I know people are like, what school deals with childhood trauma? We do. Why? Because it affects their ability to perform. Sometimes the reason that you're not getting the results that you desire is there is trauma that has not been addressed, trauma that has not been dealt with, right? Now, this is the other thing. We don't just talk about childhood trauma. We actually have resources available for those children who need assistance overcoming childhood trauma to be able to do that. Listen, so we're not digging stuff up and then not providing them with what they need in order to overcome what they've gone through. You see, it's very important that we begin to deal with things at the root. So we've been so surface and so symptomatic, not just in our children's lives, but in our lives. And so we're wondering why we can never get to where we need to be. And it's because we refuse to address the things that we need to address. Thank you, boo. Yes, innovative. That, like, I'm an innovator, so that's what I do. So this is my thing. I had to ask Veronica Joe, why are you not actively advertising this amazing school that you've developed? Why? What is that about? What's at the root of that? My students ask me, Dr. B, why? And I had to answer them. It's the thing that we don't want to talk about that can sometimes grip us. Fear. Y'all say fear of what? Fear of failure, fear of success, fear, just generalized anxiety in terms of, oh my God, what if? That can often result in what? Self-sabotaging behaviors, right? So if I don't advertise and there aren't students, then, oh, well, there aren't students because I didn't advertise. But if I advertise and there aren't students, then what is the reason, right? Okay. So listen, y'all, God said, listen, why are you counting you out? You have overcome everything that has come your way. Everything that comes your way, you overcome it. You are an overcomer. You are a victor. I've been chiseling you from the day of conception to be an incredible warrior. Chiseling you. Every experience is me as the master artist, as the creator, as the sculptor. He's sculpting me, right? And he's sculpting you. Everything. Chisel. Everything. Every experience, every challenge, every trauma, every joy, every victory, every failure, every lesson, every loss, everything is designed to chisel you. But we don't always accept it as that. We begin to internalize those things that don't go the way that we want to, and we begin to develop guilt, shame, and then fear to step out again. I remember when I first started the school, I was super bold, right? I told them, listen, I'm going to have students. I don't know where they're going to come from. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen, right? And I went to work, boom, 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 right? But when things didn't come together, because there were some pieces that were missing, that fear began to set in. But can I tell y'all something? The true definition of courage is not the absence of fear, but rather doing it in the face of fear. I was watching Will Smith's interview with Oprah about his memoir and the movie King Richard, which comes out today, right? It's out today in theaters and on HBO Max. So in as she's interviewing him, and they're talking about King Richard, and it's Richard Williams, Venus and Serena's dad, right? And they're telling his story, right? And I'm listening to the interview, and I was like, I need to check that movie out. Well, just the other day, might have been yesterday or the day before, they released a special Red Table Talk with Will Smith and the Williams family, the mom and all of the sisters. And they were talking about the movie, and they were talking about the journey, and they were talking about the father, and they were talking about how he created a 78-page document detailing how he was going to raise up the number 1 and number 2 tennis player in all the world. A 78-page document that he had laid out. Now, do you think that he just randomly got that? That had to be God inspired. God had to give that to him, speak to him, and give him a step-by-step plan for how to produce the number 1 and number 2 tennis players in the world. Little black girls from Compton, California. Everything in the natural said this cannot happen. But he refused to count himself out even when people counted him out. He refused to count his daughters out even when people counted his daughters out. My question to you is, where is it that you are counting yourself out? Where are you counting yourself out? Where are you saying, well, I can't do this because? What is that? Can you be honest with yourself? See, listen, you'll never get to where God is taking you until you can really be honest with yourself on why. Why are you counting yourself out? Why have you dismissed you, but you have supported everybody else? What is that about? And when will you stop? When will you want it so badly? When will you believe in yourself and what God has given you so much that you'll do it in the face of the haters, you'll do it in the face of the naysayers, that you'll do it in the face of the people who question you, your ability, your vision, what you're doing, how you're doing it, your capacity? When will you do that? Oh, you can do it for other people, but you can't do it for you. You can do it for your job. You can do it for, someone else's school. You can do it for a business that's not yours, but you can't do it for you. You don't believe in you enough. I know y'all said, no, it's not that I don't believe in me. I believe in me. I just don't believe that people will always be able to see. Then those are not your people. My sister, Apostle Tammy Robinson, just put a post up about her school, and she said, listen, we're not for everybody. And I'm fine with that. So if we're not for you, find a place that's for you. Now, this is important. Now, I want you to understand what this means. This does not mean that you are not valuable, your child is not valuable, that you don't have value. It means that everything is not for everyone, and you don't have to be everything to everyone. I'm not for everyone. I'm not. It's some special stuff that comes with me. When you work with me, it's some special stuff that comes with me. Oh, you got to be able to take some stuff. Now, I promise most of the time I'm going to say it in a very nice way, but I'm going to say it and it's going to be truthful and it's going to be honest. And if you're not ready for honesty, you're going to be in trouble. I'm going to challenge you. I'm definitely going to challenge you. That's facts. If you don't want to be challenged, you don't want to work with me. I'm going to give you what you need sometimes instead of what you want. Because I know that if you get what you need, then you'll be able to get what you want and be able to use it and do what you need to do. But if you don't have what you need, what you want is not going to be effective. It's not going to be productive. It's not going to yield what it needs to yield. Don't count yourself out. God came to let you know today. Don't count yourself. Be bold today. Be courageous. Step up. Step out. This is a pivotal day. This is a pivotal day, y'all. This is a pivotal day. And y'all may say, what makes it a pivotal day? Because it's today. Because I'm sure there's some other stuff behind the scenes that makes it pivotal. I know that because anytime God gives this kind of press on me, there's a reason. Don't count yourself out. Don't count you out. Go for it. Full steam ahead. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody thinks, no matter what, go for it and don't stop. Don't stop going for it. I'm talking about go for it like you've never gone for it before. I'm talking about pull out all the stops. I'm talking about you make a TikTok for your business, make a live for your business, put posts up on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, put a snap up about your business. Come on, you tweet about your business, Instagram, your business. Come on, whatever it is that you need to do that. Full steam ahead. If people don't respond, don't worry. Just because they don't respond doesn't mean they didn't see it. Y'all know that. Y'all know we have lurkers on the book, the gram, everywhere. People lurk. They look but don't say. They look but don't like. They look but don't interact. But they're looking. Let me tell you how I know people are looking. Let me tell you how I know people are looking. Let me tell you how I know people are looking. When I did my video the other day, this is not a slight, this is not a slam, okay? Because in case that person watches this. Hey, man of God, how you doing, sir? Good to see you. So this is how I know people look, right? They pay attention, even if they don't say anything. So when I did my live the other day and I was talking about my experience with the massage and then the other things that I've experienced in my life with my traumas, right? My sexual traumas. Someone reached out to my ex-husband and said, hey, you need to go watch her live. I'm just telling you, go watch the live, but don't say who told you, right? And he didn't say who told him, right? And I'm fine with that. But they were watching, right? Do you think that people are not watching you and what you're doing? Do you think that people are not paying attention to you and what you're doing? Do you think they're not? Because they are. Now, I'm grateful that that person felt compelled to reach out to him and let him know to watch it. That didn't offend me at all. Like, you know, I'm glad that they watched it, right? And I'm glad that he got a chance to watch it, you know, because, you know, he was able to respond. Exactly, man of God. Someone is always watching. And you don't know who you're going to inspire with your actions, with your words, with what you do. Let me tell y'all something. Look. People are always talking about the problem. Literally yesterday, I had a parent who's one of my former students reach out to me because she knows what I do, right? She knows what I do. You know, she knows about my school because I've talked about it, right? So she reached out to me because her children have been going through these things at school. I'm talking, y'all, some of the stuff, I'm just like, what? And the school wouldn't call her, or it was creating situations. I'm gonna tell y'all something. And listen, I want y'all to hear me because there are so many plots and schemes and snares that are designed to destroy us, our children, our marriages, our families, our institutions. There's so many plots and schemes and snares, right? So her daughter had an encounter. She ended up getting choked by a little girl at school. And the school gave the girl like a 2-day suspension. That was it. I mean, the girl choked her, was choking her out, right? Then, just the other day, the little boy had been threatening her. Nothing done about it. The little boy chokes her. Like, it takes multiple adults to get the boy off her neck, right? And she wasn't being smart to the boy. She wasn't doing anything to the boy, but the boy was just feeling some type of way. And he was like, I'll do this to you. Okay. So the boy chokes her. The brothers have had challenges. People, you know, if you're a boy and somebody's messing with your sister, you ought to protect your sister. You ought to. Listen, I don't advocate violence for the sake of violence, but if someone is threatening your sibling's life, get them off them. If it's a girl, you need to make sure that they understand that that's unacceptable behavior. Okay? I know some of you would say, well, no, you need to let the parent. Listen, if no adult had come and gotten that little boy off her. You would have wanted her brother to stand there and watch. No, you get them. Get them. And since you probably gonna be suspended anyway, get them good enough that they don't do it again, or that they'll think twice before they do it to your sibling or anybody else. Now, I'm just telling y'all, we've got to stop sissifying our boys, because that's what we're doing. And then we wonder why our men are not doing what we need them to do, because we have created these super soft, overly emotional, and there's nothing wrong with emotions. Hear me. I'm talking about overly emotional males. And mamas, we can say, well, their daddies need to do, but we play a part in that. We play a part. Everybody has a role to play. Just take your part, own your part only. Okay? Just your part, just your part, just your part, right? I remember my son was growing up, and there was a little girl down the street, and the little girl, I taught my sons, don't hit girls. That's what I taught them. Don't hit girls. You don't hit girls. Don't hit girls. Don't hit girls, right? This little girl was wearing him out every day. Every day she was wearing him out. I said, listen, I know I told you not to hit girls. I know I told you not to hit girls. But look, you don't let them hit you either. Don't let them damage you. Get them off of you and get away from the situation. I'm not saying hit them, but I'm saying get them off you. Get them off you. You don't have to allow yourself to be beaten on by a girl to show that you're a gentleman. Get her off you and exit the situation. So the next time the little girl was on him, he got her off of him and he came home. Y'all listen, because I'm very sensitive. Absolutely, man of God, not your boyfriends. And that's what be happening. They be operating as the man of the house. They be operating like a boy. Listen. I'm telling y'all, thank you. Look, I have a lot of sons. And I just watched a video that was very disturbing to me. And it was disturbing to me on several fronts. I want you to hear me. I watched a video. I don't know if you guys have seen that former NFL player, Zach. What is Zach's name? Zach something. It's all on Twitter. There's video of him fighting his girlfriend, beating. I don't know what term to use. Okay. There was a physical altercation and he initiated the physical altercation. Okay. Now I want y'all to listen to me. Listen, I do not condone physical violence in relationships. I don't condone it. I do not condone it. I have perpetrated it. Okay? I've not been a victim of physical violence. I've not. But I've used it. I said, y'all heard what I said? I said, I used it. I hit him. Okay? Now, that's not what happened in this instance. She's not shown hitting him. Clearly, there's been something that she has done that has upset him, and he is going off on her, and it turns into physical violence, right? I'm talking about it was violence. I'm talking about violence, okay? It was violence. It was very violent. It was bad, okay? He slung into a TV. It was bad. I'm not advocating it. But let me tell y'all something. This is what stood out to me. There were multiple angles of the encounter. Why in the whole hell are there multiple cameras up as this is happening? That just happened to catch this encounter. And he asked her, he says, da 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 da, you think that's all right? You think that's okay? So clearly she's done something that he said something about destroying relationships. You destroying relationships? You think that's okay? Listen, I don't know what she did, and I'm not saying that what she did made his violence okay. His violence was not okay. Multiple angles. Front angle, side angle, camera over here. It looked like it was about 3 cameras in there. Looked like it was about 3 cameras in there. About 3. And this footage gets out. This black man attacking his girlfriend in front of their 5-month-old baby. Listen, you can date who you want to, have babies with who you want to. But when I saw her video that was pleading with people for someone, people who knew where he was, to help the police find him. And yep, she was a white woman. I'm not saying that she set him up. I'm not saying that it made his actions okay. I'm just saying it was interesting to me that there were 3 cameras with 3 different views on what happened in this situation. Maybe it's the case that, he had been beating her and she wanted to, have evidence because people didn't believe her. I don't know. I'm just saying it looked a little odd to me. It seemed a little off to me. And we have to do a better job. We have to do a better job. Listen, I'm not victimizing the victim. I want y'all to hear me, because I take domestic violence very seriously. Because although I wasn't in a physically abusive relationship, like I was in a mentally, spiritually abusive relationship. Okay? I definitely was. And could he have gotten physical? He could have. But he discovered that my arse was cray-cray. For real, for real. I will stab you. I promise you, if I go to jail for something, I'm killing you. I'm not just getting ready to cut you. You're not going to just bleed. I'm going to try to make sure that you don't take another breath, okay? He discovered I was cray-cray. So, we didn't get to the, don't do it, okay? Now, y'all, listen to me. This is why we can't afford to count ourselves out, because there's someone who needs us in position to inspire them. Oh, my sister's on here, Dr. Tanya, right? This lady right here is so inspirational to me. When I tell you she is a beast, y'all need to go follow her. If you're not following her, follow her, okay? Follow her. Take advantage of her classes. She's amazing. But guess what? What if she counted herself out? Because some people counted her out. What if she counted herself out and she didn't press on, and she wasn't fearless, and she didn't believe? What would have happened? There would be so many people who would be missing out on the knowledge that she has, the skills that she's able to teach them. Yes, Lakedra, stop counting yourself. Girl, I told you, what you do is amazing and incredible. Y'all, listen. This is what I want you to do. This is what, if you're thinking about counting yourself out, if you're thinking about quitting, if you're thinking about not telling someone what it is that you have to offer, hey, what is it that you see that I do well? What is it you see that I do well? Let me respond. Because I promise you, just like you got haters out there, you got secret admirers, people who are secretly admiring you, what you do, how you do it, how you show up, waiting for an opportunity to share that with you. Now, they don't want to be in your inbox because they don't want to be a creeper. They don't want to just call you on Facebook Messenger because they don't want to be a creeper. But they really admire you. They really are impressed with you. You've touched their life. Just by me sharing what happened to me Sunday night, has resulted in some people having some conversations with me that they probably wouldn't have had. See, healing is important to me. I know that I'm on a mission to help people heal, right? And not just heal on the surface or look healed, but to actually be healed at the core, at the root. And when I watched the video of Zach, y'all, can I tell you something? God began to speak to me and he said, that's why I've been showing you about undermethylating. That's why I've been showing you that. Listen, he began to talk to me about undermethylating and CTE. Because you can't tell you have CTE until after you're dead and they actually examine the brain. But you can determine if someone is undermethylating before, right? And so he began to, talk to me in scientific terms, right? If undermethylating results in all of these different things like depression, anxiety, perfectionism, OCD, ADHD, oh my God, what else? It's so much. Digestive issues. Also, it affects, oh my goodness, y'all, it's a list. Fatigue, a lot of chronic illnesses. Listen, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And I'm going to do a live just about undermethylating and what that means and how it impacts you, right? But to know, addiction and addictive personalities, achievement, need for achievement. People who are undermethylating have strong needs for achievement. They're very driven, right? They're very driven. High sexual libido, a high libido. They have a very high libido, right? All of these things, right? And I'm looking at it, I was like, dog, that's me. Dog. All of that, like the majority of that is me. So what if a lot of the things that I've gone through that I felt like I couldn't, exactly, Tisha, hypersexual, like I couldn't control it, right? I really couldn't because I was undermethylating. So we want people to pray through it. We want people to will themselves through it. And I get that. But if there's a biological underpinning, if we can deal with the biological, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, like a lot of mental challenges, mental illnesses are like this undermethylating. So y'all listen, some of the stuff that we're taking drugs for, listen to me, could potentially be corrected. I got to be careful how I say it, by addressing the underlying issue, which is the fact that you're undermethylating. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Women do. Listen, I'm telling you, look, y'all, some of this stuff, though, I want y'all to hear me. I want y'all to hear me. I can remember those times when I got in fights with my boyfriend or my husband, right? Listen, something clicked in me. I promise you, something clicked in me. And it was almost as though I could not turn it off. Now, thankfully, I was with men that were able to maintain enough of their composure so they didn't beat me down. Okay? But I'm real clear. Listen to me. I'm real clear that if they had hit me, listen to me now, they would have been justified. I know. Listen, I'm not but the moral of the story is everybody keep your hands to yourself. Everybody. And understand, I wasn't trying to go here. Listen, understand this, that as women, Sometimes we intentionally provoke things to get a reaction. I'm not saying all women do it, but I'm just saying, I'm talking about me right now. Maybe you've never done that, but I know that I definitely have said things that I knew was going to take it to the next level, said things that I knew was going to cut them to their core, said things that I knew that was going to emasculate them, said things that I knew would trigger triggers, said things that I knew that I should not say, but I said it anyway, because guess what? I'm going to try to hurt you as badly as I can. I want to hurt you, and I want you to feel it at your core. Y'all, listen, I remember one time I was so upset. And now listen, I was upset rightfully, right? But what I did and how I handled it was not right. It was not right. There was nothing right about it. So I'm dealing with my husband. I'm pregnant. I'm getting ready to have this baby. You know, he wanted a baby. Then he didn't know that he was like, I'm not ready. Like, what the what? Like, I was good. I didn't need to have a baby. I got one, right? And I remember I was so angry and I was so frustrated that I just was going off on him and I hit him. I tell you, I slapped him. I slapped his glasses off his face. Okay? Baby, can I tell you what happened? His reflex slapped me back. His reflex slapped me back. I kicked him in knees, all that. Y'all, look. At the end of the day, we've got to take responsibility for what we've done. We've got to stop doing it. And we've got to make the necessary changes. Don't count yourself out, but don't play yourself either. So you can do either one. Y'all, listen, I got to go. But listen, don't count yourself out. And that is the word. I'm telling you. Man of God, I'm going to send you my number because I want you to call me. Y'all, look, I got to go. Be blessed. Don't count yourself out. Show up on the book, the gram, Snapchat, and every place else. And let people know that you exist and what you have to offer. You have the ability to obtain wealth. If you're not obtaining it, you need to figure out what you're not doing. I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Be blessed. Mwah.